What is going on? My name is Nick. Welcome to another TubeBuddy live stream. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about proven ways to increase the amount of subscribers to your YouTube channel. And if you are, hanging out in the live stream right now and we are just getting started, I would like to encourage you to share this out onto Twitter, share it out into Facebook, and definitely, without question, get more people in here to learn about how to get more subscribers on your YouTube channel, because who doesn't want more subscribers on their YouTube channel? I know you do. I know I do, right? I know we all do. So let's do it. So the very first thing that will help you get more subscribers on your YouTube channel, I'm going to tell you right here in a second. But before I do that, because I know a lot of questions are going to be coming in, so before I do that, I do want to let you know that there is a form down in the description below. So the reason that form is down there is once I get finished with what it is that I'm going to teach you today, then I'm going to answer your questions. So it's a first come, first serve thing. So if you have questions about YouTube and what it is that you're doing on YouTube, make sure that you put them down in the form below so that I can make sure to answer your questions after we are done with the actual training here today. So the very first thing, of course, that will help you get more subscribers is to ask. And I know that sounds basic. Don't go anywhere yet. I know that sounds basic, but it's legit. So basically, a lot of people will be putting out their YouTube content. And when they do that, they actually don't actually ask people to subscribe. Now, where you ask, of course, is also important. But one of the things that you have to be mindful of is that you ask. Because here's the thing. When you are, thank you, Brandon number D, Brandon no D. So basically, here's the idea. When you are watching YouTube, right? Let's say that you're sitting there on your phone, right? And you're sitting there and you're watching YouTube and you're like, oh, this is great. I love this video. This is amazing. This is fantastic. Hey, look at this video. This is great, right? And you're like involved in the content itself. Let's say you're watching it on a mobile phone, which a majority of YouTube viewers are watching content on a mobile phone these days. So let's say that you're watching this on your phone. Landscape mode, you don't see a subscribe button, right? Maybe you see the thing in the corner depending on the device that you're on, but you're sitting there watching your phone, you're loving the content, you're like, oh God, this is great. You're focused on the content, right? As a YouTuber, you're more mindful about the, hey, let's, subscribe to their channel and all of that. But the typical YouTube viewer, they're just watching the content, right? They don't care about, all of the, subscriber counts and all that stuff. They're just looking for good content. So when you actually ask, what you're doing in that situation is you are bringing it to people's awareness and you're letting them know, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm digging this. So let me make sure that I subscribe to the channel. Okay. So asking them is the very first thing that you can do to increase your subscriber count. Now, this is a proven way. It works on pretty much everything. This is something that YouTube also recommends that you do as well. Ask, right? If you don't ask, then people are just going to do it when they think about it or when they remember to do it. If you make really good content, then, people are going to subscribe anyway, but you'll be able to increase the amount of people subscribing just by reminding people to do it. And it's not intrusive. It's not rude. It's not mean. It's not annoying. It's basically spreading awareness and spreading the reminder to subscribe to your channel. Now, the second thing is actually structuring how to ask. I just made a video about this on my channel. I've gotten a lot of really good feedback on it. So because of that, I want to share that information with you right now as well. But basically the idea when you're asking for people to subscribe on your YouTube channel, you want to basically set it up, right? So you want to tell them who you are, and then you want to tell them what it is that's in it for them. So for example, for any of you that watch my YouTube channel, the very first thing I say is if you want to learn how to grow your channel, make video and all videos and all types of other YouTube related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell, right? The idea behind that, and I go more in detail on that in the video that I put out, but the idea behind it is I know that people coming into my content, it doesn't matter if they're coming in to learn how to upload a thumbnail on their phone. It doesn't matter if they're coming in learning how to live stream. It doesn't matter if they're coming in learning how to use like a live streaming software. It doesn't matter if they're coming in watching a video on how to get more subscribers or views. Doesn't matter what they're coming into my channel for. If they're watching my stuff, there's a really good chance that they're a content creator, which means that if they're a content creator, there's a really good chance that they want to increase the amount of views that are coming into their channel. They want to increase the amount of subscribers that are coming into their channel. So because of that, when I'm actually framing that ask in the very beginning, I say, if you want to learn how to grow your channel. And the idea behind that is because I know who it is that I'm making content for, you, right? And I know that you want to grow your channel. So because of that, I just call it out. If you want to learn how to grow your channel, because I want you to say yes, right? Yeah, I want to grow my channel, right? So there's one yes for me. And then I say make videos and all types of other YouTube related stuff. So the make videos side of it is, again, because I know you're a content creator if you're coming in and you're watching my stuff. So because of that, then I'm like, hey, if you want to learn how to grow your channel, make videos. So I'm catching you there too. And all types of other YouTube related stuff. Basically what I'm telling you in that is that if you want to learn how to do anything about YouTube, I'm the person that can help you learn how to do all that stuff, right? I can teach you the tools. I can show you how to make the videos. I can tell you how to, get more views, subscribers, all that stuff. And I frame my intro that way so that it makes sense to people as they're coming in. And then I say, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell. So it's like, well, all you have to do in order to get this ball rolling on getting all this information, simply subscribe and click the bell, right? So basically I set the whole thing up and then I kind of lead you through it. And then I encourage you to subscribe from there. So asking is extremely effective. And one thing I'm going to show you right here, and this applies to, it doesn't matter what you're doing on your channel. If you're testing something, I'm going to show you right now, I'm going to show you how to actually test what works and what doesn't work on your YouTube channel, to where you can actually test that ask against each other. So let's say that you ask one way and you're like, oh, let me see if I can fine tune this and make it better. Then you ask another way and then you find out, wow, when I ask this way, and I ran these tests on my channel too, but you'll find out, hey, when I ask this way, man, people subscribe a lot. But when I ask this way, and I say these particular things, it doesn't really work as well. So then you can actually fine tune how you're asking, but you can also use what I'm getting ready to show you. You can also use this to test your backgrounds to see what people respond to test different content types against each other, and anything else that you want to do to where you want to run comparison tests on your YouTube channel. So what you do in order to do this is, inside of your analytics, you're going to see an option for see more. So when you go into your main analytics, and this is in beta, they have this feature in classic as well, but inside of beta, it's a little bit more hidden. It's a little bit more complicated, but I'm going to show you where to do it. So basically, the very first thing you do is you go into your main analytics and then you click on the see more. From there, you're going to see your channel name up there at the very top. And when you click on that little down arrow next to your channel name, a whole new panel opens up right here. Now, when this panel opens up, you're going to see videos, and you're going to see groups. So if you look at that arrow over on the right-hand side, you see the option right there to actually go into the group. So you want to click on that, and you can see some of the tests that, or some of the stuff that I'm keeping track of on my channel as well in terms of like content types. But basically, after you click on the groups, then you want to click on create a group. So what you do is when you are asking people to subscribe to your YouTube channel, and I'm going to come back to that right here in a second, but when you're asking people to subscribe to your YouTube channel, do 7 to 10 videos that are asking them in one way, 7 to 10 videos that are asking them in another way, and then you basically put the one set of videos into one group, another set of videos into the other group. And then when you do that, let me show you this. This is awesome. And then when you do that, what's going to happen is you can click on one group and it'll just open up general stats for that group. And then you click on this compare to option over on the right hand side. And then once you click on that option over on the right hand side, did you say the last one didn't show? D? So I went from groups to this, and then I click on that compare to. And then once I'm on that compare to, then I select the other group, which is basically the one that I'm testing the variant on, right? So when I test that other group, then you can see here on my screen right here, I can tell this particular type of video drives more subscribers than the other type of video, right? So, oh, you know what? Because I'm not transitioning. Boom. So thank you. I'm going to start that whole thing over again. And I'm going to change this so that you can see this in real time. Thanks, D. Okay. So we're going to go through that again really quick. So the very first thing is you open your analytics and you're going to see the see more option right here. Feed me, see more. So you're going to see that right there, right? So when you see that see more, then you click on that, and then that's going to take you here, and this is going to show you you don't see this. This isn't something or run into. Like, you got to know this is here because they kind of hide it, which is crazy. And then once you have your name up there, then you want to click on that little down arrow, and then you're going to see groups from there. Okay. Now, once you see the groups there, then you want to click down here in the bottom to create new group. So basically what you do in that situation is you go and you compare the groups of videos against each other, right? So you have your call to action one way in the beginning in one group that is like 7 to 10 videos, and then you have it again that is in another group of videos, just as an example. And then from there, what you do is once you actually make those videos, is you actually, looks like we are buffering here is the feedback that I'm getting. Okay, so Andrew's saying to refresh. Okay, so basically, and I'm just gonna keep moving forward here. Let me see if this is even coming up. Let me turn this off and just make sure it's coming up. I'm just gonna knock this back one frame here. Okay, so it's working for the people that are, let me refresh on my end as well. Okay, this is good stuff. So we can't let the internet stop this from getting out there, right? It's good stuff. So, okay, there we go. So it looks like it's working now. Okay, so basically, yeah, no, I need D over here. See what happens if I don't have a D around? Jeez. Okay, so basically what you do, once you have those two groups created, then you click into one group, and then you have the option over on the right-hand side to compare to, and then when you click on that, then you select another group, and then basically you're gonna be able to see exactly which content is driving the more subscribers, right? Now, this exact thing, you can compare watch time. You can compare the subscribers. You can compare all kinds of stuff against the two groups. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're using this and you are basically gauging different types of content around each other. But the thing that I want you to focus on right now is I want you to focus on, let me take this back. There we go. The thing that I want you to focus on right now is I want you to focus on, okay, if I'm doing these comparisons, then what I'm going to do, what I'm going to use these comparisons for while I'm trying to increase my view to subscribe ratio on my channel is I'm going to run one test on how I actually ask people to subscribe. And I'm going to basically have, you know, 2 different sets of videos that I'm going to ask people to subscribe. And then once you figure that out, then start working on placement. Right? Because not all audiences respond the same. So, you know, try putting it more towards the beginning and see the results that you get from that. Try putting it more towards the end, see the results that you get from that. Try tossing it in the middle or after you have, you know, a little bit more information coming out, depending on the type of content that you have. But basically the idea is to just invite people to subscribe and actually go through it with them and tell them exactly what it is that they need to do to subscribe and what it is that they are going to get out of it. Now, in addition to that, you also want to make sure in terms of increasing the subscribers to your YouTube channel, you also want to make sure that you're adding something to the viewer. Now, if you're a regular viewer of mine, this is something that I talk about all the time, but if you're new to me, this is something that you will hear a lot from me, is that it's really important to make sure that you're adding value to the people that are watching your content. Because if somebody watches your video and they get something out of it in return, and they're like, yeah, you know, this is, I got something from this. I learned something. I felt fired up afterwards. I got emotional. It touched me. It made me have a moment. And because it made me have a moment, yeah, I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna subscribe. But basically, you know, you want to make sure that they're getting something out of it on their end, because the more that you can contribute to the actual people that are watching your videos in terms of just giving them entertainment or knowledge or whatever it happens to be, the more you can contribute, the more it's going to come back to you in the form of YouTube subscribers. Another thing, of course, is quality. Quality matters. It doesn't have to be the best stuff in the entire world, so to speak, but it does have to be good enough. And here's the thing. These days, we are so conditioned through Netflix, through YouTube, through, you know, just TV, just in general, like we are so conditioned on like what is acceptable and what's not, that you need to make sure that you set a standard for yourself and that you say, okay, any of my videos that go out, I'm going to make sure that they are at least this quality, right? And you can make that quality on your phone. You know, my brother, he's in the chat right now, D Nimmin, he's got a whole channel teaching you how to do this stuff on your phone. But basically, like, the idea is that you want to, even if you're doing it on your phone, because these days the optics on your phone or the cameras on your phone is plenty in most cases to be able to make good YouTube videos, good quality YouTube videos. But you got to make sure that you have enough light coming in. You got to make sure that the audio sounds good, and you got to make sure that the footage itself is not shaky. So if you are making videos on your phone, if you're doing talking head type stuff, at least put it on a tripod. If you are, like out in the world and you're vlogging, hey, look at me doing this, that, and the other thing, just stop for a second and just, hold your arm steady so that you're not shaking all over the place. Because what's going to happen is you have to think of the viewer experience, right? You have to think when somebody comes into my video, I'm giving them quality in terms of it sounds good, it looks good. I'm giving them good information, or I'm giving them a good experience or a good laugh, or, whatever it is, whatever the value is that you're bringing. But with that, you also want to make sure that the video isn't annoying in terms of it's shaking all over the place and makes them want to leave for that reason, right? So because of that, also make sure that you are definitely putting out actual quality content. Okay. Now, another thing, I'm going to show you another stat here that some people don't know. So I'm just going to show you this as well, just in case. But basically, another thing that you can do that is really powerful in terms of like really growing the channel is just simply make more content that your audience likes to watch. And I'm going to show you where to actually find that. But basically, when you make more content that is proven to drive subscribers from your channel, what you're doing is you're tapping into how YouTube is actually showing your content to people. So basically with YouTube, how it works is YouTube shows content to people that are the most likely to watch your content at that particular point in time. So when YouTube and a certain type of person in terms of, like more people in this particular part of the world that are in this particular age group that are interested in these particular things, right? Like it'll show your content to a specific group of people. So what you want to do is you want to say, okay, if people are coming into my channel and they're responding to these handful of videos, and again, I'm going to show you how here in a minute, but it's like if they're responding to these videos and with a subscribe, and my goal is to try to increase the amount of people that are subscribing to my channel, then naturally it makes sense to make more videos that people actually respond to. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So basically what you want to do is when you go into your analytics for this, is you want to basically open up that same see more that I showed you here, right? When you open that up, then you're going to scroll down and you're going to see this option over here where the red arrow is for subscribers. So these are basically subscribers that have been driven to your channel from the content that you're putting out. So what you want to do, your job as a YouTuber, is to basically click on that word that says subscribers, and then that's going to sort the videos that have driven the most subscribers towards the top. And then you want to start looking at the titles and topics of those particular videos and say, wow, when I make this type of content, people really dig this. Like when I make this content, like people are subscribing to these particular videos like crazy. So what you can do in that situation is start making more of those videos. Because if people are digging that specific type of content from you, then make that type of content, right? Because the people that YouTube is showing your content to, it's going to show your content to other people that are like those people as well. So you want to make sure that you are putting together the actual content that is going to drive subscribers. Now, if your goal is something different than growing your subscriber base, if it's like, hey, I want to get more views, then you do the same exact thing for which videos typically bring me more views. If you want to do, if it's something about like which videos drive the most engagement, then you would go in and you would look for the videos that drive you the most engagement if that's what you're after. But I'm guessing you're probably after views and subscribers because that's the stuff that drives everything else. So in terms of driving more subscribers to your YouTube channel, proven ways to drive more subscribers to your YouTube channel, I want to know your thoughts. I want to know like your questions that you have on this topic down in the form below, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cater this more to you in terms of, continuing this on. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into this form and I'm going to start pulling your questions out. And as I pull these questions out, because you're going to have, additional questions too, so I'm going to answer those. But what we're also going to do is we're going to start trying to think of how we can use the questions that you're asking to think, okay, well, how can we use these to generate more subscribers for our YouTube channel as well? So The very first question is from Steve Believe Guitar, and he says, "Hey Nick, what's up, Steve?" Says, "I have a music channel, but I'm now doing more entertaining comedy music related videos. Would you recommend changing the type of videos from music to entertainment? Thanks so much." If you are in the, if you're talking about in the category wise, and that is what you are focusing on, then in that particular case, then yeah, that's a good idea. And just as a heads up, if anybody is seeing the buffering, just refresh, and then the page should be back to normal. That seems to be happening. That seems to be a thing right now. So just as a heads up to you for that. So just refresh the page. So for you, Steve, yeah, if you are not doing music anymore and you're doing something else, then sure, just swap your category out of that. To be honest, it's probably not going to make a humongous difference. So don't expect like a huge difference to come from that. However, you are, letting YouTube know specifically that, hey, this is what the content's about now. So that's exactly what you want to do. Another thing that I want to bring to your attention as well, that can help you, and I'm just kind of going back and forth here between the questions and the information, is another thing that can help you as well to generate more subscribers is to have a specific niche or niche for your content. So the reason that can help you generate more subscribers is, of course, most of your subscribers are going to come from the actual video watch page themselves. So like when somebody's watching a video and you ask them to subscribe or not, and then they subscribe to your YouTube channel, that's where most of your subscribers are going to come from. And that's simply math, right? Because one, it's easy for people to do. Two, because you have all of these videos out there that are being put in front of people, but you have one channel page. So because of that, the videos are going to drive more actual subscribers in the channel page itself. But one thing that you can do is when you niche your content down, then what happens there, and if you're not familiar with that term, basically what I mean by that is that you cover like one specific interest on your channel or one specific theme on your channel. And the reason that this can help increase the amount of people subscribed to your channel is because when you increase, or when you have that theme, then basically with that, the value of your channel goes up. It increases for the people that are coming to your YouTube channel. So for the people that are watching a video and that go through your channel name and that actually go and they're like, hey, what else does this person have? Because this is great. I love this video. This is great. Let me check out their channel page and see what else they have. For those particular people, it's very advantageous to have other videos on your channel that are directly in alignment with the other videos that they're watching on your YouTube channel. So if you look at the TubeBuddy channel, you look at my channel, you look at a bunch of other channels out there on the internet, you see that people strongly focus on a specific type of content. And that's because if somebody watches one video, we'll just use my channel as a reference. So if somebody watches one of the videos on my YouTube channel and they go to my channel page, they're quickly going to see, wow, this guy's got like all kinds of YouTube information. Right. So yeah, I'm definitely, there's no way I can watch all this right now. So I'm going to subscribe so I can come back and watch more of it later. Right. So the same exact thing happens. Like, you'll see hey, thanks, Vigard. Got a little candle vibe going. But basically the idea is that you will see, like Photoshop channels and video editing channels and travel channels and vlog channels. And, but the idea is basically you get to pull in the people that are interested in that specific theme or that specific thing that it is that you offer on your channel. So when they come in from one video, they go to your channel page to see what else that you have, then that actually can encourage people to subscribe as well. So does having your channel laid out properly and having more of your content displayed on your YouTube channel so that people can actually see, hey, they cover these topics, they cover this topic, they cover this topic, so they can see exactly what it is that you offer so that they can make an informed decision as well. Another thing that can help you increase the amount of people that are subscribing to your channel is to clearly and simply in your channel art, just let people know what your channel's about. Because what you want to do is you want to make it as easy as humanly possible for people to make a decision to subscribe to your YouTube channel. So what you do is by putting in your channel art exactly what it is that you offer, what you're doing is you are taking those people that do come from all those video pages that you have out there, for all the people that do come into your actual YouTube channel page, then what you're doing is you are making it clear and easy to understand exactly what it is that you are offering on your YouTube channel so that they don't even have to look through all of your content. They can simply see that and say, oh, okay, well, this person talks about, the gardening and, gardening and growing plants or whatever it happens to be. So I'm into that. So I'm just going to go ahead and click the subscribe button because, clearly that's what this channel is about, right? So just letting people know, hey, this is what the channel is about. Just that by itself can also help the amount of people that are subscribing to your YouTube channel. Now, next question is from Hemi Muscle. Says, please explain how TubeBuddy was able to partner with YouTube and allow us to use TubeBuddy without harming our channel. So basically, when it comes to TubeBuddy, they have to go through like a compliance thing with YouTube. So basically anything that YouTube doesn't like, then they would have to say to TubeBuddy, hey, we don't like that specific feature, so we need you to take that out. And then everything else is stuff that YouTube says, hey, all this is okay. So you can proceed forward with this actual tool, because basically with TubeBuddy, it actually taps into the YouTube API, and that API basically allows TubeBuddy to deliver the information to you that it does. And in terms of like the permissions, they need those permissions because in order for them to make some of the changes that you would request through the tool, then they need to have the permission in order to actually be able to make those changes that you would request. And those changes are only made when you actually request those changes, as a heads up. Next one is from Sonoski Cigara. I hope I'm saying that right. My apologies if not. Says, please, for the love of God, tell me why I'm not getting views and losing subs as fast as I get them. Okay, so here's the thing, Sonoki Cigara. If you are getting subscribers, but you're losing them quickly, a couple things could be going on. Number one, what's up, Jefferson? Number one is if you do not have a themed channel, that can cause people to leave a lot, right? I mean, it's natural when you publish videos that you're going to have people that are going to leave. So like, for example, if you publish a video today, then there's a really good chance that some of your subscribers are going to end up not enjoying that video, or they're going to remember, hey, I haven't watched this channel in a while. YouTube just sent me this video or just showed me this video on my homepage. I forgot I was even subscribed, but not really into this content anymore, or this type of content anymore, because I've moved on, or I'm just into other creators, whatever, trying to clean up my subscriber feed. So I'm going to unsubscribe to this channel. Or if they subscribe to your channel for one thing, and then YouTube starts presenting them videos from other things that you covered on your channel because your channel wasn't themed, then that can actually cause you to get a loss in subscribers, which is something that you want to minimize as much as possible. But again, that's something that's just going to happen in general. But the more themed and niched that your channel is, the better that you're going to be able to retain the subscribers as well, in most cases. So the next question that we have, and if you're wanting to know where these questions are coming from, just as a heads up, there's a form down in the description below where you can post your questions, and then I will get to those as we're going through. So let's see here. So the next one here on the list is from Pixel Hide F Gaming. Says, is it necessary in gaming to have videos every day? I've had success with less than 5 because the content is higher quality when I can be more picky with content and editing. So here's the thing. Daily content is not a requirement in any way, shape, or form. Okay? So basically what you have to think of is you have to think of, one, how can I balance this? How can I balance YouTube with my life, right? So that it doesn't drive me crazy. Because if you're just getting started, going hard and putting out daily content, sure, that can definitely be a way for you to kind of, get into the whole groove of making YouTube videos. However, sustainability is going to be really difficult if you're putting out daily content. It's possible, you can do it, but it's going to be really difficult. So because of that, I recommend that people actually pull it back a little bit and just not publish as much content. So instead of going daily, let's say, do like 3 videos a week or 4 videos a week to give yourself a little bit of time to breathe, especially if your channel's new, Pixel Hide, because if you are grinding it out, so to speak, and you are putting out content like crazy, you're putting out content every single day, and you're like, oh yeah, and you're just like stuck in the grind of making content, what you're going to miss out on is okay, well, let me go into the analytics and actually look and see how people are responding to this content. Right? Because if you're just in that hamster wheel, just making videos, and you're not paying attention to the response of those videos in terms of like, what's my retention like? What's my click-through rate like on my thumbnails? Then what you're doing is you're robbing yourself the ability to actually get results on YouTube. And the mindset for a lot of people is, hey, no problem, Steve. The mindset of a lot of people is, I just need to win by brute force. I just need to put out as much content as humanly possible. But these days, that's not the case. You have to put out content that is effective. You have to put out content that people respond to. You have to put out content that you have to make thumbnails that people click on, titles that grab people's attention, and you have to make videos that people will watch for an extended period of time. The more, the better. And you have to make content that generates some kind of engagement. And if you're doing those things, then eventually you're going to just get results over time, right? If you're not doing those things and you're not paying attention to it, you might be putting out daily content that sucks. It's rough to hear, right? But you might be. Like if you're just putting out content and you're not paying attention, you could just be putting out content that sucks. So because of that, giving yourself a little bit of room to breathe so you can educate yourself more on YouTube and the platform, how it works. You can dig into your stats so you can make sure that you're making the right content decisions and things like that. By giving yourself that space and not uploading as much, you're going to be able to get better results because you're going to develop a better understanding of how your audience responds to your content, and you're going to develop a better understanding of how YouTube works. So because of that, I would definitely just kind of pull back just a tad instead of doing the daily content. Unless you get all that other stuff dialed in and you're like, well, hey, I understand the platform. I understand what my audience wants. My videos are getting great retention. I'm getting great click-through rates. Like all the way across the board, I'm like, rocking. Then in that case, if you want to ramp it up, go for it. But if you're not getting the results that you're after, but you're just like bombarding YouTube with content, pull back a little bit, right? Learn how the platform works and how your audience responds, and then take it from there. Next, the next one is from Garrett D. Better Vids. Says, is a thumbnail with no text better than one with text? Okay, let me show you something. Let me tell you something. So I could tell you yes or no, right? And depending on your channel and the topic that you are making a video about, that answer may or may not be correct. I would have a 50% chance of getting that one right, right? So what you need to do is you need to use TubeBuddy's A/B testing tool, and you need to actually test thumbnails with text and without text. That's what that tool is actually made for. It's the A/B testing tool. It's in their Legend package. And with that, basically what it does is it lets you compare two thumbnails against each other, and then it tells you which one performs better. It'll give you the click-through rate on the thumbnails, and it'll also tell you which areas of YouTube that thumbnail perform better as well. It performed better in search, it performed better in suggested, it performed better in browse. So using that tool will give you the answer specific to your channel and specific to the individual pieces of content that you're putting out there, because some content, just like like historically, will do better with text on it. Other content, not so much. So because of that, you want to make sure that you're testing what your audience that YouTube is presenting your content to. You want to test what is the most effective for them. And that is how you find the answer fine-tuned to your audience. That was a nice little TubeBuddy plug there, wasn't it? You guys like that TubeBuddy plug? It was legit, but did you like that TubeBuddy plug? That gave me like a great way to kind of squeeze that in there. So thank you for that question. Okay, so the next one is from Work Legend. So I'm talking about a Work Legend. The Legend of Work. I am not gaining subscribers and viewers. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. How can I fix this? Couple things. Very first, and this is from Work Legend. Very first is I recommend that you go through the YouTube Creator Academy. Like if you're at that point to where you're like, hey, I'm uploading videos and I'm not getting any results at all, then I recommend that you go through the YouTube Creator Academy. It's 100% free, provided by YouTube. We've got something coming out, but it's not ready yet, but YouTube has something that's available for you right now. So go through the YouTube Creator Academy, 100% free. You can actually Google it, and that is going to basically give you some foundational information that you need to just kind of get going, right? So you want to make sure that you go in there and that you study that information, because it's kind of like an instruction manual for how they want you to use the platform, what the different features are, what they do, and things like that, in order to make sure that you're making the right decisions. Next up is from, I'm not sure what the channel name is, but I got a link here. It says, what are the best practices for YouTube discovery ads? And it's not ADDS, it's ADS. So with YouTube discovery ads, it depends on what your goals are with those ads. So if you are, like trying to target something for like growth, for example, then in that particular case, you would go and you would target specific search terms or keywords. If you are going for growth, you would also go for maybe targeting specific videos of your competitors because you can run ads against them as well. But basically it all comes down to what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Like if you're trying to drive like sales, for example, then you would take a completely different approach than if you're trying to get subscribers. Next, the adventures of peas and carrots. Hello, peas and carrots. It's a good name. I'm guessing that this is a like a maybe kid stuff. I don't know. Do old videos that do not generate new views and or have poor retention hurt your channel overall? Is it ever appropriate to delete or unlist old videos? So here's the thing: when you delete or unlist old videos, then you kind of lose that. You lose that public watch time and the public views for those. So because of that, it's a good idea to keep things on your channel, but if you have something that is not performing in terms of it's horrible, no matter what you do to it, it does not improve, then in that case, you can remove them, but just keep in mind there's gonna be a watch time and view penalty involved with that, but you can remove them. And one reason that you might want to consider that, and I would actually have to like look at the videos and see, the response you're getting on the videos to give you like an exact answer, but here's what you wanna do, is you wanna consider this. You wanna say, okay, is YouTube even suggesting this video, right? If YouTube is suggesting the video still and it's not getting a great response, they're probably not going to be suggesting it anyway. But if they are, then in that case, if it's still bringing people to your channel, then leave it up. But if they're not suggesting it at all, if you don't see any impressions coming in from that, and you can find that out inside of your, if you go inside of your analytics and then you go to reach and then you go down into your upside down funnel there, then you'll see the actual impressions and you'll see like a little bar going across the top of that. So if you don't have any information in that bar, then that tells you that YouTube is not promoting that at all. So because of that, then you can say, okay, well, first I'm going to try to re-optimize this a few times. If that doesn't work, then I can just take it off because it's not really hurting or helping you because YouTube's not showing it to anybody either. But one thing that I do want to remind you of is even if YouTube is putting the content out there or not putting the content out there, some of your current subscribers, like if it's still like a video that you're not like embarrassed of, and if it's still a video that is kind of like, my current subscribers might enjoy seeing this video, then you can still leave it and just reference it from time to time in other videos. But just consider those things like when you are going to take it off, because you're going to lose the watch time, you're going to lose the views from it. And in addition to that, you want to consider if YouTube is suggesting it anywhere or not. And you want to consider if your current subscriber base is actually going to dig that video when people are just slowly, here and there going through and, consuming your content over time. Like, for example, like on my channel, like my very first video on my channel, people still go in and watch that video every day. Not a ton of people, but people go in there and watch it every single day. I get like a handful of views on it. So to me, if people are still finding value in that content and they're still watching it, I'll still get comments in there. Then for me, that's like, okay, well, no reason to delete that video, because even though YouTube isn't promoting it, subscribers are still going in or just viewers, just random people are still coming into my channel and finding that video, and they are able to get value out of that video. Next up, okay, yep, we got that one already from Peas and Carrots. Let's see here. Next up is from Isaac LOL. Isaac is laughing out loud, just in case you didn't know. Can you build a tripod with Legos? Probably. If you give me enough Legos, I can build all kinds of stuff. Also, which is better, views or subscribers? So it depends on what you're trying to accomplish on the views and subscriber side of things. That's always the fun question. But at the end of the day, typically it comes down to views. And the reason for that is because if your channel's monetized, you're going to get more money when you have views. If you're promoting anything as an affiliate, then by math, you're going to be able to promote that thing more, whatever it happens to be, if you are getting more views. And if you're getting more views, then that's going to also, over time, generate more subscribers as well. So because of that, the views would be the winner there. But subscribers are also important, because subscribers are like your, they're like your core people. So you want to make sure that when you're putting out content, that you're putting out content that's for your subscribers, and you want to put out content that is for non-subscribers as well, because the non-subscribers, like them, those are the people that make your channel grow. The current subscribers, those are the people that actually come in and pour into your videos when they first publish, and that, you know, those first like 48 hours, 7 days, your subscribers are the people that come in initially for those and kind of help give YouTube the data to know that if it's a, give them the data to know if it's a good video or not, so that YouTube knows to promote it or not. Sam, I am the legend. Didn't we just have like a legend worker? Didn't that just happen? Or am I like mixing things up here? Yeah, I think we just had a legend worker. So let's see here. So Sam, I'm the legend says, what can I do on my channel to get more subscribers? Oh, what can I do on my YouTube tips channel to get more subscribers and attention? Sam, if you are making a YouTube tips channel, then don't take this the wrong way. I'm just being straight up with you. If you are making a YouTube tips channel, then you probably shouldn't have to ask that question, because if you are giving tips, then it's probably good that you either know how or that you learn how yourself to actually learn how to do that stuff. Next up, and I'll add like a respectfully thing on there too, like respectfully. You should know how to do that. Okay, Thulu. I love YouTube channel names. Thulumify. I'm Thulumi. I don't know. However you say that channel name. How to get your video in recommendations. Okay, here's what it comes down to. If you want to have YouTube recommending your content, you need to have a very high click-through rate on your thumbnail. And that doesn't necessarily mean high click-through rate in terms of, if you don't have a ton of videos on it, then it should be, or views on it, then it should be high. If you have a ton of views on it, then naturally it's going to end up being lower because YouTube is showing it to people that are less qualified. However, you need to make sure that you are getting recommended in terms of you're getting a lot of impressions. That's going to tell you basically how your thumbnail is performing overall, because YouTube is going to be giving you more impressions. In addition to your thumbnail and your title, you also want to keep people watching longer. That is also going to help YouTube recommend your content, because YouTube's goal is to keep people on platform as much as possible and to keep people coming back to the platform as much as possible. So the more that you can keep people coming to YouTube because of your videos, and the more that you can keep them on YouTube on your videos, then the better off you're going to be, and the more YouTube is going to recommend your content. Same exact thing goes with engagement. Like if you are putting out content and people are engaging in it, you're getting lots of likes and lots of comments, and people are talking about it and sharing it and adding it to playlists and all that stuff, then YouTube is also going to recommend it more, because it's like, hey, all this activity is happening on the video. They're watching for a long period of time. They're sharing it out. They're adding it to playlists. People are digging this content. They're responding to this. So we're going to show it to other people on the platform, because if this group of people that are watching it are responding to it, there's a really good chance that a bunch of other people are going to respond to it also, and then they'll start promoting it elsewhere on the platform. Next question is from Anik Singal. I hope I'm saying that right. Says, we have over 30,000 subscribers, but when we took a long hiatus from posting since April, we are posting every single day, but our videos usually get about 300 views. How can we revitalize our subscribers to increase our viewership? So yeah, when you take breaks, that can happen sometimes, especially long breaks like that. But what you want to do is you want to just keep going with what it is that you're doing. You might want to experiment. Like if you came back and you're going like every day, you might want to experiment with actually pulling back a little bit and going like every other day, just for the sake of like, you know, getting it out there, but not like overwhelming people in terms of you being in their feed constantly. Because if you're only getting 300 views and you've got 300,000 or 30,000 subscribers, then there's a good chance that YouTube isn't like showing your new videos to a you know, large percentage of your subscribers. Depending on the content that you make also, you know, that can also matter as well. So I'm not sure the views that you used to get compared to what it is that you're getting now. So like, for example, just as an example, like if you look at my channel, like I've got like 420 something thousand subscribers on my channel. However, the amount of views that I get aren't that high for the amount of subscribers that I have, because of the extremely high churn rate of YouTube content creators. Because a lot of people come onto the platform, they want to be a YouTuber, but then they find out that there's work involved. And then once they find out there's work involved, they're like, well, I'm not willing to do this work. I'm out of here. Right? And then they're not YouTubers anymore, but they're still subscribed to my channel, but they don't care about my videos when I put them out. So depending on the content that you have, depending on what you are normally getting for views, like I would definitely need that information to give you a more fine-tuned answer. But in terms of revitalizing the subscribers to increase your viewership, keep in mind that, again, the way that you actually grow the channels by reaching non-subscribers, but those, those actual subscribers that you have, those 30,000 people, are great for actually, coming in and watching the videos when you publish. So if you just keep putting out the good content and more people start watching it, then YouTube will start showing it to your subscribers again. Next. From VIP Man YT, this is the man responsible for the wheel on Nimmin Live. Says, my audience retention is pretty bad. For example, my newest video is 3 minutes long and the retention is 1:33. And that's a good example. Should I cut off a hook, subscribe CTA and introducing myself and instead jump straight into the content? Or what would you suggest? The retention has improved slowly over time for my channel, but I'm still quite far away from 50% on average. Any tips? Absolutely. So here's what I want you to do, VIP Man. So what I went through earlier here is I went through how to actually group your content together and test your content. So for anybody that's joining us right now, I'm going to take you through this as well, just so you can see it. But the idea, VIP Man YT, is you want to actually test it. So take off your hook, your subscribe CTA and introducing yourself. I would still do your hook, but take off the subscribe CTA and the introduction. Actually, even the introduction can be fast. Take off the subscribe call to action and then run it through this. Basically go into your analytics, click on see more, and then click on that little arrow next to your name, click on groups. Once you're inside of groups, once you are inside of your groups, you want to create a new group, and then you want to do this 2 times. And basically you want to take like your last 10 videos where you did have your subscribe call to action and you had your introduction and all of that stuff. And then you want to make another 10 videos where you don't have that. And then basically from there, you want to go up to compare to, and then you can compare the 2 groups against each other to see which ones perform best for you. In this example, you see which group actually drove more subscribers, but of course you can sort this by different ways based on the specific information that you're after for which part of that actually converts people more for whatever it is that you are trying to do. So in your case, it would be like retention. So you could actually compare average retention between the 2 of them. And of course, you'll be able to see that like on an individual video basis as well. Thanks, Sigard. Okay, so next up on our list, hey, real quick, I also wanted to remind you, because we got a little bit of time here left. Really quick, if you haven't yet, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. That lets us know here at TubeBuddy, it lets us know that we are doing the right thing and that you are getting information that you enjoy. So make sure that you do that. If you haven't yet, give it a thumbs up. Next question is from the Success Algorithm. Nice name. Says, I struggle with keywords, so I use TubeBuddy, but it throws me off topics I don't want to talk about. So how do I work with that? So for example, if I want to talk about X and it hasn't, and it doesn't have any good keywords, so I need to talk about something else. Very hard to deal with. What do you suggest? P.S. I think you do a really good job. Thank you. So in terms of if TubeBuddy is giving you topics that you don't want to talk about, I think you might be using it in reverse. So what you want to do is you want to put in the topic that you're talking about, and then, or that you want to talk about, and then if it recommends stuff over in the sidebar saying other related topics or whatever, then if it doesn't apply to what it is that you're doing, then just disregard those. And other ways that you can find that is you can put that same exact topic into the autocomplete of YouTube. Like if you want to talk about, XYZ, then you could just start typing XYZ into the search field in YouTube, and then it'll give you a drop down of other things that people are looking for on that topic. And then things that you can do is you could do like XYZ. Okay, like in my case, right? I would do like, like how to get more subscribers. And then instead of that, I would take how to get more subscribers away, and I would just do like get more subscribers. And then I would see what popped up there. And then I would do get more subscribers space A. And then I would see what came up there, and then B, and see what came up there, C, and then see what came up there, and then start taking some of those and dropping those into TubeBuddy, and then see what it recommends to you there to see if you can get some better ideas just by, putting different information into it so that it can spit out, the right information to lead you in the right direction that way. Hopefully that answered your question. Next up, we've got Hong RT, says how to get noticed on YouTube. So to get noticed on YouTube, 1, make content that is easy to find. And what I mean by that is a lot of people will put out videos on YouTube, especially when they're first starting, and they don't have any keywords in there. They don't have a title that anybody would ever care about. They have something like they'll make a video and it'll be like my trip to the store. And nobody cares about somebody's trip to the store on YouTube unless you've already got people that care about the videos that you put out. But if you're like just getting started and you put out content that's like, you know, my trip to the store, there's nothing there for people to want to click on. Now, if it was, I went to the store and then this happened, and then you have something crazy in your thumbnail that happened to you while you're at the store, then in that case, it's a little bit more interesting, in terms of people saying like, oh, I wonder what happened, right? And then they can click on it that way. But a really good foundation, a really good start when you are getting going on YouTube is to actually make content that people are actively searching for. And that's one of the things that TubeBuddy is really good about, is helping you find those things that you can actually get your video to show up for when people search for something on YouTube. When they put in that search and they hit go, then your video actually will come up in some of those search results. So learn how to, it's called SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. But what you want to do is you want to learn how to optimize your videos for search, so that when people are looking for things, your videos will show up there. Now, once you get the ball rolling and you start putting out good content that people respond to, then YouTube will start showing your content without you having to do anything else, right? But what you want to do to focus on to get your channel going and to get everything started is you want to make sure that you focus on making content that people are actually looking for, that people would be interested in. And just think, right? Write a title out and make your thumbnail and sit back and look at it and think, would I click on this? Would I really care about some random person on the internet about their trip to the store? If the answer is no, then say, okay, well, what would I care about? How could I write this in a way that would make sense to where somebody would say, oh yeah, I wonder what that's about, and want to click on that, right? So just sit back, take that step back and look at what it is that you're doing. That awareness of what you're doing can really make a big difference. And this kind of goes back on the question earlier about uploading content every day. This is another one of those situations to where it's like, if you just step back for a second, you give yourself that space to just step back and just look, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I have going on. So how can I make this better? How can I make people respond to this more? If you do that with your thumbnails and titles, then that will definitely help. Next question is from David 3000. It's good, man. You sound like a robot, David. Or 2,999 other Davids already had YouTube accounts. Let me know in the chat right now if you think that he sounds like a robot, or if you think that there are 2,999 other Davids that made a YouTube account before David 3000. Just let me know in the chat really quick. You can even add a hashtag to it if you want. So the question here is, Nick, what is the best camera setup with lighting and audio for beginners? Also, how often does TubeBuddy go live? So TubeBuddy goes live 4 times a month. They also put out video content as well. So if you are not already subscribed to TubeBuddy and you want to learn more about YouTube, how to efficiently use the TubeBuddy tool, and like how to make thumbnails and like all of that stuff, they put out all of that content, and you want to participate in these live streams where you can learn more about what goes on, or how YouTube works, and get your questions answered and things like that, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel now if you haven't already, and click the bell so that you don't miss any live streams that are going to be coming up. Yeah, so we got a lot of robots in here. Yeah. Oh, we got some 2,999 other Davids too. So yeah, we got a little bit of both. Yeah. Who knows? David, maybe you can let us know if you're still in here. So in terms of the best lighting and audio. So here's 1 second. So I actually have a video about this, and you can find other videos on YouTube, but this is basically one of the lights that I have. The one back here, it's actually an aperture LED light, the one that's hitting me right now. But this light right here is like, if you're just getting started, you can actually hack together something like this from the hardware store. And basically what this is this is a can light, right? And this is like a, just so because I didn't want can lights because it just kind of looks janky. So I got actual like photo versions, but basically what this is this is just a can light, but you can just get a work light for this. And then I have like a t-shirt in front of it. So you got to make sure that you're not using anything hot. And then I just have like a daylight balance bulb inside. But I have a video on my channel about cheap lighting setups. So go check that video out, and it'll show you exactly what it is that you need to look for when you are at the hardware store. But basically, you can put a whole thing like that together with actual clips, so you don't even need a stand. You can put that whole thing together for like 30 to 50 bucks. You can get them off Amazon and all of that as well. Now, in terms of audio, I recommend that you definitely get a microphone of some kind. These are good microphones. It's a great microphone for like vlogging or anything. But the thing with audio is if you are not just putting your arm out like this, and if you are not, you know, like if your camera's not close like this, like let's say that you have your camera kind of farther away, then you still want to keep the microphone close to you. So you would need to get an extension for this and basically just put it just out of frame, like right there, so that it's still close, but people don't actually see it when you're talking. Hopefully that helps. All right. Next up on the list, we've got Sean and KC in vacay mode. So I'm talking about take those vacays. Take that vacation. Take that chill time. It's important. How important is the analytics on my channel? Not sure if my thumbnails are working to drive traffic. Okay, so I'm going to show you something real quick. Let me see if my software will let me actually do this, and it's going to look funny if it does, but we're going to try it. So to let you know if your thumbnails are good or not, let me just name this thumb real quick. And let me see. And I named it Tum instead. You know, hey, can't win them all. Let me click browse. Okay, it's actually not going to let me do it while I'm live. So never mind. Oh, great. Now it's stuck. Okay, so there goes that. So yeah, so basically you can go inside of your YouTube analytics, and in terms of like, oh, there it is. Okay, so let me see here. Let me go back to this. Let me go back here. Let me go into presentation. Let me go into graphics. Okay, so I'm going to show you this right here, as long as it'll let me. Boom. Okay. So basically how to know if your thumbnail is working good for you or not is this. So this right here is basically like the amount of impressions that YouTube is putting out on your channel. Okay. So this is basically how much YouTube is promoting your content. So this particular video has 195 million impressions on YouTube, which generated an 11 million views just from impressions on YouTube, right? Now you'll see here that this video has a 5.8 click-through rate, which you might think, oh, that click-through rate's low. This is low, but it's not actually. The reason that this is 5.8 is because of this, right? So if this video had 1,000 views on it, this thumbnail click-through rate would be a lot higher. But the more that YouTube puts your content out there, the more that basically the more that YouTube puts your content out there, the less qualified the people are to actually see that content. And because of that, it'll drive your click-through rate down, it'll drive your retention down and all of that. So like if you have like 1,000 views on your video, the high, you know, you want to get a really high number, but like as you get into like the hundreds of thousands of views and stuff like that, it's going to start driving your click-through rate down. But the way to know if your thumbnail is effective or not is to look at that impression information at the very top. Now it keeps popping this thing up. There we go. Nope. Come on. There we go. Is it keeps popping that, is it shows you right there at the top the actual impression data, so that you can say, okay, well, hey, this is a good enough thumbnail that YouTube is actually showing it to people. So because of that, I need to make sure that I need to make sure that I'm keeping an eye on that bar. If that bar is low, that means that you should start testing your thumbnails with TubeBuddy right away, so that you can start getting more impressions on your videos. Next question. I know Andrew's going to be on me here in a second, telling me it's time. So I'm going to answer like another question or two, and then we will, then we're good to go. So the next question here is from Deltron Does Games. Deltron Does Games says, I've seen the advice to look at watch time and see where it drops quickly so that you can potentially correct something that causes people to leave. Why does a steady drop of retention stay? What does a steady drop of retention say? Is the video just too long for the topic? So basically what this question is referencing, as long as I'm understanding it right, is they are basically looking for like big dips, but what they're wanting to know is like if your video starts here and then your retention, you know, slowly goes down over time like this, like what does that mean? So basically what that means is simply that people are just losing interest over time, right? So I would love to show you, I'm doing a presentation tonight I would love to show you some screenshots from that, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to or not, so I can't, but I actually talk about this. But basically, like, man, should I do it anyway? Give me a hashtag yes and a hashtag no if I should do it anyway or not, because I think I can add this stuff, and I just want to show it to you because it's important. But anyway, because you'll probably just say yes, and I know that we're out of time here also, so actually I'm not going to be able to, so just skip that. But basically, like when you have that drop, right? Like what that tells you is that over time people are okay. So I'll do it real quick. And I got to do this quickly because he's gonna cut off my my questions here. So give me 1 second here. And we are just going to pull this out randomly. And let's do this. And I hope this is okay. But I you know, if it's not, you know, whatever. Let's see here. Boom. Okay. So basically, like a couple ways that you can look at this. And while you're looking at this, I'm going to load up another one also. But a couple different ways that you can look at this. So this particular one, you know, this is what you would call like good audience retention, right? Because that particular good audience retention, they come in, they hook the viewer watches for an extended period of time, and then they basically leave at the end because that in that particular case, they told them the video was over. This particular case is where people are coming in, they're landing on your channel, and when they land on your channel, then it's like, you know, or they land on that video, people are like, hey, this wasn't what I expected. Or there's something that I don't like about this video. Maybe the audio sucks. Maybe the video sucks. I'm out of here, right? So that's when that happens. And then you also have this, which is more in alignment with what it is that you were talking about on the steady decline over time. So here, like you can see with the arrows in this situation to where I'm referencing those, you know, those little drop off points. But basically like what this means is that over time, people are leaving the video because they're just getting bored with it. So because of that, you have to look at this and you have to say, okay, well, if my video looks like this, what can I do? Am I sitting in the same environment? Maybe I need to change up the scene. Maybe I need to play with how I'm actually communicating in my videos to where I'm like, you know, I'm talking a lot here and then I don't talk so much here, or maybe I just talk more through the whole thing, or maybe I completely change the environment to where I'm sitting in one position and showing one thing in the background for a little bit, and then I show something completely different. But basically what you want to do is you want to start experimenting with different ways to bring the whole thing up. Because like this right here, this is what would be considered a bad video. Okay. If your audience retention looks like this, then you have bad videos. You need to just suck it up and you need to just go into your stuff and say, okay, well, what can I do to raise that retention? Because you at least want it to look something like this at the very least. But ultimately, of course, you want it to look something like this to where, you know, people come in, you've got them hooked right out of the gate and they just keep watching your content. Right. And you can see at the end of this one, you can see where, you know, they ended the video by telling them that, you know, hey, this video is done or whatever. But like at the beginning part, though, you can see that, you know, they were able to grab their attention and keep them watching for almost, well, on average, it was over, you know, 5 minutes on this particular video. So so that's definitely what you want. If you get this one, then yeah, somebody just said in the chat, power cert animated videos just said clickbait. Yeah, this is also what clickbait looks like as well. Like when you see this, then this basically means that just people are not getting what they expected when they actually clicked on your video in the first place. So I want to thank everybody that came in and hung out today during the live stream. I hope that you got some value out of the live stream today. I hope you learned something today. The next steps that I want you to take is I want you to go in and look at that grouping feature and see how to use it. Go in and look at your audience retention. Start testing your content, because the more informed you are about the content that you're putting out there and how people are responding to the different things that you do in your content, the better you're going to do. So if you want to increase your subscribers, you want to increase everything that's happening around your YouTube channel, take the time to learn some of those features and start testing things so that you can really fine tune your content for the people that are watching. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the TubeBuddy channel yet, and you want to learn more about the tool itself, and you want to get more live streams like this and other videos that are going to help you with your YouTube channel, make sure that you click on the subscribe button right now. And again, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it, and I will see you. Oh, and a link to my channel also is down in the description below. So definitely head over to my channel if you are not over there yet, and I will see you next time. And I'm actually going to let this sit for a second just to make sure that we, make sure that I get everything out here that I need to get out in terms of that before I shut this puppy down. So yeah, so thank you so much for hanging out. There we go. So thanks so much for hanging out, and I will see you